our aged boar class, I'm going to go ahead and start out with entry number 36. I really appreciate this boar for his overall masculinity, especially in his front head and neck. I appreciate how much bone and density he has, especially over his back two hocks and pasterns, one that's really wide-based and has a nice good structural soundness, one that's really deep-ribbed, deep-bodied, and has a lot of overall muscle shape and expression. I'm going to go ahead and follow that up with entry number 38, this all-black hog. This black hog follows really nicely, has a lot of depth and shape and rib, especially over the top, a lot of muscle up through that chine and his head and neck, and one that I appreciate for his overall testicle size and shape, a nice following to our first place entry. I'm going to go ahead and follow that with entry number 37 to that solid black hog, a one that is just a shorter made kind of type hog, one that is a little frailer bone, but one that I do appreciate for his overall masculinity. I'm going to round out the class with entry number 35. Number 35 is that all white boar, and for me, he's one that's a little bit heavy on the heavy side for me, carrying a little bit of extra conditioning, but one that I do appreciate for his overall type and kind compared to the others in the class. A really nice heat to get started in our aged boar division. Here in Heat 2 of our aged boar division, I'm going to go ahead and start out with entry number 39 with this red appearing hog. I really appreciate this hog for his overall shape and muscle over his top and through his chine, his overall masculinity and breed characteristic in his front third. I do appreciate his testicle size and shape and his overall masculinity and his testicles. I do appreciate how he walks on a good set of feet and legs. From there, I'm going to go to entry number 42. This 42 hog is one that's probably one of the more unique hogs of the class. One that's probably a little bit older compared to the others in the class and that shows in his age, but I really appreciate the overall bone shape and density that he has and the overall muscle shape and expression, especially out through that ham and that stifle carrying into his future offspring. From there, I'm going to go to entry number 40 to this heavier conditioned hog, and for me today, that's why he lands where he does. This hog is carrying a little bit more conditioning, and for me, that's just a little bit what I don't like. But for me, I love his bone density and his overall width, especially from the rear and as you watch him move. But a really nice entry to land in the third hole. From there, I'm going to go to the 41 hog. For me today, he just doesn't have all the kind of bells and whistles of the previous three, but one that really has an athletic stride and keeps moving and has, even for being an aged boar, has some time left in the breeding career, I think, and is going to make some really great offspring. A nice heat in our aged boar division. Here in Heat 3, our final class of our aged boar division, I'm going to start out with entry number 44. I really like this boar for his overall masculinity and size and scale. He's a big one for sure. I really like his athletic stride for how big he is, and one that really has a lot of muscle shape and density, and he's probably the most level-topped boar I've seen. I really appreciate the breed characteristics, especially up through that front 1/3. A really nice entry to start out our class. From there, I'm going to go to entry number 43. Kind of a shorter made hog, one that doesn't quite have the size and scale compared to our first place entry, but one that I appreciate for his overall athleticism and his overall shape and size and scale. Really nice entry. From there, I'm going to go to entry number 45, probably the smallest made hog of the class. One that when you watch him go away from you, he hocks in ever so slightly, but one that I really appreciate for that overall masculinity, especially in his testicle size and shape, as well as the shape he has over his top and muscle expression out through his ham and hamline junction. A really nice heat of aged boars. As we look at all the winners of our heats in our aged boar division, as I go to select a champion, I really appreciate the quality we have in this aged boar division. It's a really unique category for me to see all these entries and, judging some older boars. But for me today, there's one that puts the whole package together, and that's entry number 39. He's going to go ahead and be our winner. He comes out of Heat 2. For me today, he's probably the most athletic hog of the division, the one that really walks on a good set of feet and legs, is wide at the ground, carries it up through the top, has a lot of muscle expression and shape over his top and through his ham, and I appreciate the overall masculinity in his head and neck. From there, I'm going to go for a reserve to number 44 out of Heat 3. That entry for me is one that really puts the whole package together as far as masculinity and his overall size and shape. He's probably one of the older boars of our division, but one that certainly has put some great offspring on the ground and is going to continue to do so with his overall masculinity, especially in that front 1/3 in his head and neck. A few nice entries in this division of our aged boar.